Yo. So I've been thinking about how we need to shift how we talk about veganism. So there's two kind of like main ways that most like activists have been talking about it. Number one is like the classic like you're a murderer, meat is murder kind of thing. Um, and then the second is like this debate, bro, like um, you know, testing logical consistencies and um, that kind of yeah. Um, there's an issue going on here, and it's the same issue with a lot of the ways we have conversations about controversial topics, and that the way we have this conversation is we're putting the blame on the person, um, and even if it is true that the person deserves the blame because of what they're doing to animals, um, the way in which we put the blame on the person doesn't actually affect change. Um, like I guess anecdotally, when I look back at to like the arguments that turned me vegan, it wasn't the you're a murderer, or it wasn't the listen I know logic more than you do, um, kind of argument. Um, it was questions that made me reflect on my beliefs, on my actions. Questions like, what's the moral difference between a pig and a dog? Stuff like that. Those are the questions that made me think and reflect on my own beliefs, and which turned me vegan. It wasn't the listen, you are doing something wrong, um, type questioning or type statements. So I really think we need to shift how we talk about veganism. And listen here, I'm trying to walk a fine line here, because there's an issue where people come on and um, they'll talk about vegan activism, and they'll say, listen, you're going about it the wrong way. It should be about like reducing your meat consumption, or it should be about like going vegetarian, or things like that. And I want to make it clear that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say we need to create dialogue which um, makes people open to change rather than becoming defensive of it, um, and open to change towards veganism, not vegetarianism, or towards reducing meat intake. We're talking about change towards veganism, but within a dialogue that they're open to reflect on their positions. So we can do things like instead of so if we're going down the dialogue tree of name the trait, which is a popular vegan um, debate argument amongst the community. Um, if we're doing like a name the trait type thing, um, instead of using the person, like, would you be okay, like, if they name a trait of like intelligence, like instead of asking would you be okay with slaughtering mentally handicapped kids or something like that, um, if we ask that, which is kind of like the traditional way of like name the trait, which we've done before, um, it puts the blame on the person. But if we just change it slightly, we go into like naming like a third person and being like, well, if someone was um, scanning the brains of people and then determined that you know this group of people had the same intelligence as a pig, um, would you want to stop them, or even better, like, what would you do to stop them? Stuff like that, where like you're adding in the third person, so the blame is shifted off of the person you're talking to. And there's probably better examples, but I think maybe you're getting kind of the gist of what I'm saying. Is that we absolutely need to shift our conversation styles from you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you are a bad person, you're doing this bad action, towards asking questions that make them reflect on their own beliefs and keep them open to change. Yeah, I don't know, just a rant. Something that I've been trying, and I've been attempting. I anyways,